Nothing like getting out there and enjoying a day out on the water, only to find out you're not the only one or only thing out there and living your best life. Welcome back, crew, to this week's episode of Googans of the Week. Now, sometimes when you're on the water, you think you're living your best life, and then things go wrong. Now, we already know it's not just on the water where things go wrong. Sometimes things will go wrong before you get on the water or as you're trying to get out, kind of like we see here. So it looks like we switched drivers because he thought he could do it better, but we're going to find out that's not necessarily the case. In fact, in the end on this one, they actually have to disconnect the trailer. I mean, I guess there are worse places you can be stuck in a car other than the boat ramp. Maybe you could be stuck in the water in a car. That one wouldn't be very much fun at all either. Now, this crew's not as stuck as our last guy was, but they're still having a good time trying to get this one out. And this is why I always get nervous when I see people doing these things. It's highly unlikely that if you do fall underneath this truck that the driver's even gonna notice it happen. Now, fortunately, there's a couple people back here, so somebody probably would have alerted them, but it's still always just a risky move. Putting yourself between a vehicle and a trailer just really has some consequences that you don't want to deal with. But let me know in the comments, is there a better way to do this than sitting on the back of the truck like that? Could you maybe just deflate the tires like it was sand? I really don't know if that would have the same effect or not. Let me know. Fortunately, they give it one last shot, and right here they're able to break the hump and get her to break free. Unfortunately, this crew did not.
It's a Ford F-150. Yeah, you don't want to lose your Taco Bell.
Now, while our other crews all found themselves stuck, this crew's been waiting for this boat to find its way to get stuck. Now, while our last crew wound up stuck out there on the rocks, this crew's going to try and avoid that same fate. But one thing I believe they really wish is that they probably just stayed in.
He's probably going to make it out because there's like a little bit of channel right here. But yeah, wow. Oh, you got his tenders on the front of the boat. See how it got
Yep.
Holy shit. Holy shit. This guy's got. Oh, this way it's getting steep right on it. This is holy shit.
Oh my God.
You're getting incredible video right now. This is incredible. I've never seen anything like that. I've never even seen the Coast Guard do that.
And speaking of stayed in, I bet this captain wishes he would have just stayed in bed this morning instead of being out here playing yacht pinball. mean, at least the good news for these crews is that it's during the day so they can see all this coming. Imagine this one, you're rolling in at night and all of a sudden there's a ghost boat in front of you with nobody on board and you can hardly see it. I'm sure that boat will wind up stuck somewhere down the river here shortly. Kind of like this crew who's stuck now, but they're trying their best to get out. Now, not every jam you find yourself in on the water can be undone just by adding more power, but there are several jams that you might find yourself in that can. For example, one you might not even think of is a boat fire. That's right, you got a boat fire, add some power to the motors, and fix it right up. Now, one time you always want to be careful with those motors is when you're on a jet ski next to other boats. You never know when you're going to go ahead and spray everybody down. Now, of course, that stinks when the jet skis are around and they get everybody wet, but that's not the only way to get wet while you're out there boating. This guy will show you another. I mean, they always say there's no such thing as a bad day of boating, but some of these clips prove that is actually incorrect. In fact, this next clip really proves it's incorrect because this is one of those places I would never want to be. Imagine you're just out there trying to take the ferry home, and all of a sudden the conditions turn like this. Definitely not some place I'd want to spend several hours, especially when you know that there's everybody else around you probably getting sick out there on that boat. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Googans of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button.